What is up, FPG fam? Further here, and for today's video I simply wanted to talk about the brand new 5-star light cones that are going to be coming in patch 1.1 because in my opinion they're pretty nutty. They're kind of cracked, so I wanted to discuss it with you all, break them down and see what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Now really quickly, as a disclaimer before we jump into it, I don't believe you need these light cones. I don't believe you ever need to go for 5-star light cones, and matter of fact, take it a step further, I don't even advocate for you going for 5-star light cones. It's just not worth it in my opinion, especially if you're a free-to-play player or light spender. It's not worth it. It's hard enough to get the character and then you're trying to go for a light cone. I would rather you just get another brand new character, save for that instead, because that's more fun, that's more beneficial for your account rather than getting light cones, no matter how cracked that they're going to be. Now there might be a specific situation where Silver Wolf is the character you've been waiting for since day one, so you want to get the light cone to match with Silver Wolf, so that way your Silver Wolf is the best Silver Wolf in all of Honkai Star Rail, and then in that case go crazy, go nutty, it's your account, right? But if you're asking my opinion, my advice is don't do it. You don't need to. The 4-star light cones that are in the game are perfectly fine. They supplement for these 5-star light cones, and you can clear the content without any issues with 4-star light cones, especially if you superimpose them and things of that nature. So I did want to go ahead and mention that really quickly right off the bat before anybody's confused thinking I'm telling you to go for these. I'm definitely not. I don't recommend it, but that doesn't excuse the fact, or dismiss the fact, that's the right expression, dismiss the fact that these light cones are nutty, and it's specific to Silver Wolf and Luocha if I didn't mention that earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Silver Wolf one first, because this one's pretty crazy. So we take a look. Massive shout out to Honey Hunter World. I'll leave a link to their website in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, sub if you're new. I would love to have you stick around, join the FPG fam. It's a great time over here. We're family. I love you guys. Smooches. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So if we take a look at the skill, it's the Incessant Rain, increases the wearer's I don't know what I said before, wearer's effect hit rate by 24%. So we're going to be breaking this down in bits and pieces because there's a lot going on here with this light cone. So that first part right there, 24%, that is for the effective rate, is really good for Silver Wolf in particular, because that is what she's doing. She's debuffing the enemies in just about everything that she does. So to be able to increase that even further is always going to be a good thing for Silver Wolf. So that alone right there is great for the character. Now when the wearer deals damage to an enemy that currently has 3 or more debuffs, increases the wearer's crit rate by 12%. This is good because I spoke about this in my Silver Wolf video, talking about how I believe Silver Wolf is going to be able to do some pretty good damage on her own as a possible sub DPS alongside your Sele, whoever your main DPS is going to be. So having her being able to increase the crit rate by 12%, that's great. That's always a good thing. Now after the wearer uses their basic attack, skill, or ultimate, there's a 100% base chance to implant Aether Code on a random target that does not yet have it and was hit by the ability. Targets with Aether Code receive 12% increased damage for 1 turn. So you're just doing even more damage. So this light cone is nutty for Silver Wolf, of course, because it's for her specifically. But that effect hit rate, I think that is what's going to separate a Silver Wolf that you see with this light cone versus one that has just like maybe the free-to-play 4-star one that's going to be coming in 1.1, which is good as well. But I think that effect hit rate, that's where you're going to see the difference. Because if you don't know, Silver Wolf has a 90% base chance to apply the weakness, and then another base 100% base chance to reduce the all-type resistance of the enemy further by 11.25% for 2 turns. So, and that's just on the skill, and then you have it for the ultimate, decreasing the target's enemy's defense. It's 107.5% base chance, but that's at level 15. If we have it at like level, let's say 6 for example, it's 92.5, and if we have the skill at level 6, just for some more realistic results, it's an 80% base chance, and then we have 100% base chance there still as well. What you have to keep in mind though is that because it says 100% base chance doesn't mean that it's automatically going to happen, because you have to take into account the enemy's resistance to effect hit rate. So essentially you would have to get over 100% to possibly guarantee getting that on. So getting the 24% is going to be good, and once again it's just all dependent on the resistance of the enemy. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking at effect hit rate and the percentages and the chance that you're going to get it. So having the 24% is just great. And then the crit rate's always nice because then you can focus crit damage a little bit more. You're still going to want the crit rate, but you can focus a little more on crit damage because you know you're going to supplement it here. And then you have the 12%. Now, I will say this is a little dependent. It's not automatic. You do have to apply 3 or more debuffs to increase the wearer's crit rate. So that part is going to be maybe a little tricky. You know, it just really depends, but nonetheless, I think you're really in it for that effect hit rate. Anyway, so that's for Silver Wolf. Let's go ahead and take a look at Luocha's. It is the Echoes of the Coffin. And this one's pretty good as well. So it increases the wearer's attack by 24%. If you don't know, Luocha's all about attack. That's what his kit is all based off of. So as an example, after using his skill, immediately restores the target ally's HP equal to 70% of Luocha's attack plus 1025. And if you take a look at the ultimate, removes 1 buff from all enemies and deals imaginary damage equal to 240% of Luocha's attack to all enemies. So being able to increase his attack by 24% on the light cone itself, that's good because it's going to play into his kit. You want to build him up with attack, so that's nice. After the wearer uses an attack, for each different enemy target the wearer hits, regenerates 3 energy. That's going to allow you to do ults more often, which is great. And then each attack can regenerate energy up to 3 times this way. After the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies gain 12 speed for 1 turn. So you're going to be able to do your ult more often. You're going to be able to get the benefits of giving your allies additional speed by 12 for 1 turn. And then if we take a look at what Luocha's ult is just doing, remember it removes 1 buff from all enemies and deals imaginary damage. And then you're going to get 1 stack of the Abyss Flower, which then again plays into the skill and the talent. So the Luocha one is kind of, it's pretty cracked as well. I like them both. They're pretty good. But once again, just harkening back to what I said earlier in this video, they're not needed. You don't have to have them. Are they nice to get? Yeah, but the problem is that you're going for the character, and this is once again for my free-to-play players and light spenders. You're going for the character depending on where your pity's at. Is going to be dependent on how deep you have to go. And remember, these characters are back to back. So Wolf first, Luocha second. So now you're already having to prioritize which character you're going for, because most likely you're not going to be able to get both. And then it's dependent on where your pity's at. Wherever your pity's at, depending on how deep you're going to go, because most likely you're not going to get lucky. You're not going to get an early 5-star. For most people, you're probably going to have to go to the full pity. So depending on where that is depending on how far you got to go. And then from there, you're trying to get the light cone, which is 80 pulls guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken, and then 65 soft pity. That's a lot of pulls, guys. That's a lot of pulls. And we have future characters coming down the road that are going to be fantastic, that I know you guys are going to want to get, like Kafka, like Blade, and others that we know are going to be coming at some point in time. So you just have to keep that in mind as well. And you have to micromanage your resources in terms of your premium currency. And you have to think long term. Are you going to want to have a light cone that's good for the character? Or are you going to want to have more characters on your account that diversify your account, give you more versatility on what you can do, pair more characters together for things like Memory of Chaos and maybe other difficult content that might come out down the road, hopefully. So those are things that you just have to take into consideration. That's why I always advocate characters over light cones, or weapons in this case, right? That's what I did in Genshin Impact. If somebody asked me, should they go for constellations or the weapon, I'd say no, go for the character, go for future characters, because that's going to be more beneficial, and rock a 4-star weapon, and you'll be perfectly fine. You'll be able to clear the content, I promise. So anyways, guys, just my 2 cents on the matter. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to be going for any of these light cones, despite what my recommendations are. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, and thank you so much for all the support here on the channel for Honkai Star Rail. I do truly appreciate it. We'll be pumping out more content, and looking forward to 1.1 dropping. So thank you guys so much, and remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.